My beloved. Hey, this past weekend, I was reminded that I was a blessed man. It was the week after Resurrection Sunday, and I was blessed to serve in the kids' church. And the lesson had to do with John chapter number 19, somewhere around verses 1 through 17. It talks about Jesus making breakfast for his disciples. The scripture started by saying, after these things. What things? They were talking about the death, burial, and the resurrection, and how Jesus then began to present himself to many of his disciples. Well, the scripture talks about Peter says, I'm going fishing. And the disciple says, we're going too. So many of them got together on that boat. Well, Jesus was far off. He says, are you guys hungry? The scripture says that the disciple whom Jesus loved, which is John, he says to Simon Peter, isn't that Jesus? So the scripture says that Peter put on his outer garments and jumped in the water and started swimming towards Jesus. The rest followed him on the boat. Well, Jesus tells them, cast your net on the right side. So they casted the net, and it was so full of fish that it was difficult for them to bring in. But they brought it in. And Jesus, the scripture says, was making them breakfast. Breakfast at the shore. Oh man, it's a beach breakfast. Then Jesus began to have a conversation with Peter. And this is where I was blessed. Jesus asked Peter, do you love me? Peter says, yes, I love you. So he says, feed my lambs. Feed my little ones. I was telling the kids' church that the lambs are the baby sheep. I told him, it's you. He says, feed my sheep, or my lambs, excuse me. Then he would ask, this is Jesus, ask Peter again, do you love me? And Peter says, Jesus, I love you. So then he says, feed my sheep. So earlier he said, feed my little ones. Now he says, feed my big ones. So when you think about feeding, because Jesus says, I am the bread of life, you start thinking about the scriptures that if you love somebody, you will strengthen them through the words of God. Like for us, it'd be teaching our children to fear the Lord, to believe in Jesus, to be saved, to act like a child of God. And for the older, it's the same thing. You encourage your brother, you try to evangelize, share the gospel with people. But Jesus was asking Peter to do it to all mankind. Then he asks him one more time. Jesus says, Peter, do you love me? Now the scripture says that he was weary. He was hurt. He had his feelings hurt because Jesus questioned him a third time. Peter, do you love me? Again, Peter says, you know all things. You know that I love you. So then he says, tend to my sheep. So at first he says, take care of feed my little ones, feed my bigger ones. But then he says, take care of all of them. And the reason today I say I'm a blessed man, I said it on Sunday, because it was such a great reminder to me. A reminder that I am called. Oh, I've heard it. And I'm calling it to you, that we ought to feed the sheep of God. So that is feeding the small children and feeding the older children of God. So I'm blessed because I volunteer at the kids' church. It's a place where I can practice what's been preached. I get to have my son in the class, and I get to really look at these little boys and little girls as future men and women of God. So the question is, do you love Jesus? If you love him, then answer the call. Share the gospel with all people, little children, babies, old people. And then, of course, it says, tend to my sheep, then take care of them. So beyond teaching them, beyond preaching them, preaching to them, beyond discipling them, beyond rebuking them, hello somebody, beyond all those things, he says, well, then tend to them, take care of them, be concerned about them. So I'm a blessed man today because I can hear it clearly through the scriptures, and I get to practice it. So if you want to be a blessed brother, well, then let's answer the call. Let's really examine ourselves. Do we really love Jesus? And if we do, well, then let's serve him. Serve him somewhere. There's opportunity in the kids' church. There's opportunities in different outreaches like the Bridge of Hope and all kinds of things. Security. Every ministry is important. Every ministry is important. So, man of God, woman of God, whoever you have next to you, do you love Jesus? And if you love him, come on with a brother. Come join me at the kids' church. Just join me on Sunday service, and just realize how blessed we are that Jesus Christ himself would trust us to be able to represent him. So this is Brother Rene. I'm just blessed today. I'm a blessed man, and I know that many of you are blessed as well. So anyway, I just want to share. I had a really good time this past Sunday. There's something special happens at the kids' church that not everybody sees, except for those who volunteer there. Whether it's the kids' church with the smallest ones, the babies, or the older classes, and of course with the youth too. Those youth, man, they need some feeding and they need some taking care of. So anywhere you want to serve Christ, why don't you come talk to me or talk to one of the people that you know, and let's serve Christ. Let's show him our love by feeding his lambs, feeding his sheep, and tending to all the sheep of God. I love you guys. Have a blessed day.